You're watching A Closer Look. In this segment, we take a look at the call on the government of Japan to cease the ongoing nuclear wastewater dumping into the Pacific Ocean at Fukushima. The civil society in the Pacific region highlights the massive implication this will have on our marine biodiversity.
Various other learned and concerned voices around the region include Japanese civil society groups, environmental activists, and international environmental groups such as Greenpeace have emphasized the special risk of the disposal option chosen by the Japanese government in an age of heightened stress to the ocean's system functions and climate emergency of the discharging of nuclear waste into the Pacific Ocean in Fukushima. Coordinator for Pacific Network on Globalization, Joey Tao, has called on the government of Japan to cease the ongoing nuclear wastewater dumping into the Pacific Ocean. Mr. Tao highlighted that this act by the government of Japan will have a massive implication towards the marine biodiversity within the Pacific waters.
It's an important call by civil society on Japan to address this, but also from our political leaders who've raised serious concerns, is that there are other options that Japan must look into, where Japan has failed to and has commenced last year. It has done its fourth discharge last month, and it needs to really reconsider its plans, given that the region has legacy standing issues of nuclear testing in the region, and some of our Pacific Island countries are still living with the impacts of nuclear testing in the region. In the Marshall Islands, further north, in the Pacific, the nuclear testing, there is a dome that's leaking. So there are countries in the Pacific that are experiencing, or rather living with the impacts of nuclear testing. Japan's plans to dispose nuclear wastewater into the Pacific is an added human stressor onto the health of our ocean. For Pacific peoples, we've continued as civil society from the region, including Papua New Guinea, we've continued to highlight the importance of our ocean, its value to us, how it sustained us, and it's very much our home. So for someone to come and toxicate our home, it raises a lot of questions.
According to Coordinator Tao, the dumping of the nuclear waste will have a massive implication on the marine biodiversity within the Pacific region, highlighting on the impact this will have on the lives of people, as most of the Pacific Island are dependent on the ocean for survival.
Visit by Japanese Foreign Minister for the pre-PAM ministerial held in Suva last month is a clear indication of how Japan's playing its politics in the region in terms of very much a cover-up on its current proposal or its plans that it is being discharging nuclear so-called treated water into the Pacific Ocean, one that sweet-talks the region, and we really hope that if it's a discussion with Pacific leaders, including Papua New Guinea, there needs to be some open conversations. As you know from the region, since Japan's plans last year, and when Japan first started disposing nuclear waste into the Pacific, nuclear treated water rather, into the Pacific Ocean, there was resistance throughout the region, notably one from Papua New Guinea, where the Minister of Fisheries, Jalta Wong, who had raised serious concerns. So there is concerns from the region, not only Pacific civil society, but there is political concerns from our Pacific leaders. So my view of Japan's Foreign Minister's visit is another attempt to sweet-talk the region into very much applying with what Japan plans to do over the next few years.
Civil societies within the region slammed and labeled the recent visit by the Japan Foreign Affairs Minister to the Pacific region as sweet talk for the region to overlook the ongoing nuclear wastewater dumping into the Pacific Ocean.
That's where we're calling on Japan to reconsider its plans. And Japan is a forum dialogue partner of the Pacific Island Forum, Leaders Forum. And if it is a forum partner, it has to have meaningful engagement with our leaders, including Papua New Guinea. And we have called on Japan to stop its plans and reconsider other options.
Noting the significance of the ocean in the Pacific, Mr. Tao called on the government to cease this wastewater dumping exercise.
From the Pacific Civil Society and civil society partners here in Papua New Guinea, we welcome and support the statements by some of our Pacific leaders, especially the Minister of Vanuatu, Ralph Regenvanu, the Fisheries Minister of Papua New Guinea, Honorable Jelta Wong, who have shared some serious reservations around Japan's plans. In 2023, last year, during the Pacific Island Leaders Forum, Pacific Civil Society called for the suspension of Japan from the Forum Secretariat as a dialogue partner. We appeal to our Pacific leaders, should Japan not hear our concerns, it must be suspended. The actions of Japan are not one that is friendly to the region, and we really need to reconsider this.
Mr. Tao reiterated the similar call made by leaders in the Pacific, including PNG's Fisheries Minister Jelta Wong, for government of Japan to look into this, and the civil society further called for the suspension of Japan from the Pacific Secretariat Forum.
That's all we have for you on this episode of A Closer Look. Join us same time next week for another episode. On behalf of the entire team, thank you for watching and have a pleasant evening.